Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. We kick things off with football. The new season of La Liga gets underway on Friday, but to the surprise of nobody, things are rocky at Barcelona. La Liga is refusing to register the summer signings made by the club, insisting they must reduce their wage bill. Robert Lewandowski, Jules Koundé, Rafinha, Andreas Christensen and Franck Kessié are among the players yet to be registered for the competition. Among the hindrances facing Barcelona is their inability to reduce their wage bill by offloading high-earning Dutch midfielder Frenkie De Jong. With Leo Messi long gone, De Jong is Barcelona's highest earner, earning a reported £470,000 per week. Manchester United made the 25-year-old their primary transfer target from as far back as May, when they confirmed Erik ten Hag as the new manager. But due to contractual wrangling, De Jong is, at least publicly, adamant he's staying at Barcelona. The latest twist in the De Jong saga is that Barca now claim he was made to sign an illegal contract under the disgraced ex-club president, Josep Maria Bartomeu. The club now insists De Jong revert to the contract he agreed when he signed for the club in 2019, as they will no longer honor the terms of the alleged illegal deal he signed under Bartomeu. Bartomeu has issued a swift denial, dismissing the claim about an illegal deal with De Jong. Well, joining us now to wade through the various issues at play in this situation is our international correspondent, Simon Evans. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Simon, what a mess. What a mess at Barcelona. What a way to start a new season.
Yeah, it's a real mess for them, and it's a shame for the club's fans and for fans of La Liga as well, who want to see a strong Barcelona. Even Real Madrid fans, I think, want to see Barcelona competing properly with them this season, and the attention on what's going on in the field. So not being able to register these players they've got, who are kind of stuck in limbo at the moment, is a real mess. And the De Jong saga, every summer it seems, every European summer it seems that we have this a transfer saga that goes on and on and on. It's been for Manchester United, Jadon Sancho in the past, and Bruno Fernandes, and this year it's Frenkie De Jong.
Yes, and at the top of the show, George posed the question to Lance and myself about a resolution and, the fact that they face Rayo Vallecano on Saturday. Do you see a way out for Barcelona? Because the players that are being held at ransom are players that scored in the recent friendly, and they had a massive part to play in Barcelona's win. Do you see a way out?
I mean, if there are reasons for not being able to register them, the club's finances can be resolved in 2 or 3 days, I'd be amazed. Can some sort of political compromise be found that allows them to temporarily go ahead with these players and then later fix things up? I don't know. I mean, that's the kind of thing that in the past in Spain has happened, that there's been some kind of temporary solution. But they also need to get players out of the club as well. So there's a lot of things to be able to be done in what is now a very short space of time before the season starts.
Yeah, Simon, the trouble that I'm having with all of this is with all of the levers that Joan Laporta, the Barcelona president, has been given approval by the club's owners, the club's ownership, to pull, and he's pulled about 3 of them already. There is a 4th one that his hand is on that lever now to pull. One would have thought that all of these mechanisms, the forward selling of rights and the organization of the business plan, that it would have been in lockstep with what would have satisfied La Liga, that they are on the right track. So it was very surprising for me to hear, coming from the league, that, well, yeah, you still can't register players because you fall short of the requirements. How is it that Laporta could have been working in the dark, working independently of what La Liga's rules prescribe? And isn't that the reason that they're in this mess right now more than anything else?
Yeah, I mean, you compare it with situations of clubs that go into administration, and Barcelona obviously aren't in that situation, but they have that kind of regime put in place where, first of all, you have to do this, then you have to do this, then you have to do that, then we'll be satisfied, we can review, and we go ahead. And it does seem remarkable that Barcelona have been taking these measures and putting pressure on people. And we've had these, horrible situations where a player like Martin Braithwaite, who his contract was signed, he signed it voluntarily with the club. Nobody was forced to do anything. And he just wants to continue to honour his contract. And he's being booed by the stadium because he hasn't left the club yet and so on. Frenkie De Jong is in this position where he says he doesn't want to go, but they're saying you've got to do this, this and this. It's a mess. I mean, what is the point of these contracts if they can't be honoured? I mean, if Barcelona are in a situation where they can't honour contracts, then they should let people go, and move along, because it's absolutely ridiculous situation, really.
Looking at the daily reports that come out of the Camp Nou, Simon, one thing that caught my eye was in the arrangement to forward sell some of the rights and the merchandise, forward selling of merchandise takings, let's call it that. There was something which said that the club formed a company. Listen to this one. The club formed a company. Then that company bought the rights from the club. And I'm saying, but that can't be right, because that doesn't represent income. That's not income. That's not a commercial deal, because you've effectively get a couple of your directors then to sign on and form this company. They're the directors of this LLC, limited liability company, and then the club itself is going to do business with them and then register that as a transaction to say, oh, we have a partner which have bought those rights. And I always thought they would have gotten in trouble over it. And here it is that La Liga have held them up to say, well, yeah, the arrangement is still not ironed out because you still have not met the threshold. And a business practice like that, from my understanding, doesn't count as a club putting itself in order to be as financially transparent and a going concern to satisfy the requirements to continue doing business and continue being a football club.
It looks like a trick, doesn't it? It
Yes.
looks like a maneuver when people do that. And it's, whatever the rationale for it, it doesn't seem like a normal business practice. And there's been some strange things going on as well. There's a unit of Barcelona called Barca Studios, which looks after some of the media rights, but also what they call Web3 rights. So the crypto world, the NFTs, and all this stuff that we hear so much about today, and most of us understand very little about, but the future internet, the meta world, and so on. And Barcelona have sold 25% of that company, and which has the rights to all that stuff. And no one knows how much money is going to come from that, if any, but it could be huge. They sold those rights to a company called Socios.com, who are involved in fan tokens and this kind of stuff, forever. I've never heard of a sports deal where you sell the rights, in the broadcast world, the rights are for 2 or 3 years, 4 years. Sometimes you hear Major League Soccer sold their rights to Apple for 8 years. But forever? To sell 25% forever? And Laporta comes back and said, well, yeah, it is forever, but maybe we can get it back later on. I mean, I just, you have to shake your head at some of this stuff. Yeah,
the De Jong issue now, Simon, which has caused, let me just say, consternation at the very least among Manchester United supporters. My understanding, based on some of the writing, not the cheap kind, the kind that you do and people like you in the business, Simon. It says that De Jong has to publicly posture as if he wants to remain in order to collect the monies owed to him by Barcelona. Now, those monies owed to him have accrued under the new contract he signed with Bartomeu, not the original contract that brought him there from Ajax. And because he has every intention of collecting these millions, he has to publicly posture as if he wants to stay at the club to satisfy the conditions of the contract, which speaks about loyalty and the payment and everything else. So United fans are wondering, well, why is Frenkie De Jong, every report saying he wants to stay, and why is the club blindly, almost slavishly sticking to we want this guy who publicly says he doesn't want to come, and the club say we don't want to sell him, and all of that. Is that a real representation of why United's interest in De Jong remains, but why the players' posture and the club's posture publicly remain what it is?
I find it really hard to believe that with De Jong's former coach from Ajax being the man who's effectively trying to sign him, with the relationship that they will have had, and I know that they're not supposed to speak to each other when trades are going on and all that kind of stuff, but we know these communications take place. I find it really hard to believe that Ten Hag would not know what De Jong's real intentions are. So I've heard right from the start from people that De Jong really genuinely doesn't want to go to Manchester United. He wants to leave Barcelona, perhaps, but he doesn't want to go to Manchester United. But the longer it's gone on, you start thinking to yourself, really, Ten Hag, he's got to be communicating with people at Manchester United and saying, I think he wants to come. He wants to come. I've spoken to him, or I've spoken to a family member or a friend, or got the information he wants to come. That's the only possible logical explanation for Manchester United continuing this interest. But now they're starting to look at other players, Adrien Rabiot from Juventus, French midfielder they're talking about now as a possible alternative. The window closes at the end of the month, and I think there's starting to be some nerves that maybe this really isn't going to happen with this mess at Barcelona, and Manchester United might have to look somewhere else.
De Jong is in the position now of being a contract rebel, Simon, because if you say that he has an illegal contract under which you are paying him and that you will not honor those payments anymore, you flagged the much maligned ex-president Bartomeu as the man responsible for that. They blame everything on Bartomeu these days. So you want the player to become a contract rebel. You want Martin Braithwaite to become a contract rebel as well. Is it that the club is using this as a means to force these men to abandon their contracts so that they can get a little more of the breathing room, the space they need to set themselves right for the league? It's just as blatant as that.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? It does feel like they want these people out of their club. And, you know, the business of illegal contracts, I mean, I don't know the details of exactly how it works in La Liga, but in the Premier League and other leagues, the contracts go through a clearinghouse at the leagues. And I think quite often FIFA, when there's a transfer involved, FIFA sees them. Now, whether a contract renewal is seen by FIFA, I'm not sure. But the leagues should certainly be aware of what contracts their clubs have, and they should be in line with the regulations of that league and the regulations in that country. So if there was an illegal contract, how did La Liga allow that situation to continue? Is there no scrutiny, no accountability for any of these contracts that are done? I mean, I feel sorry for the players in this situation because their advisors are presuming everything's done in good faith, and these are legal contracts. And they may be, for all we know. But it does raise questions about the governance of the game in Spain, I think.
Yeah, you know, people have been asking about the federation that represents footballers internationally, FIFPro and others. And I don't know, I don't have any confidence in those groups. I think they have been co-opted by people in power in various organizations. Because what is true is that every significant victory that has been won by professional footballers just before and including the Bosman ruling in the mid-1990s were won in court. They weren't run by the union agitating on behalf of the players. So you have to go to the European Court of Justice or somewhere similar to get justice. So people ask, well, why is it that nobody's agitating on Frenkie De Jong's behalf or speaking on Martin Braithwaite's behalf? The fact is that people should understand, Simon, where policing those issues are concerned, and I use policing advisedly, it is that a report has to be made. You know, the police will not come and investigate something at your house, Simon. If you or your neighbor or somebody doesn't report that there's something happening in the Evans household, they won't just turn up and say, oh, we are interested in finding. So clearly, De Jong and his agent and his handlers, and the same thing for Braithwaite, they haven't made any appeal to any external party for any progress in these matters. And so it's a waste of time to ask why these bodies aren't investigating, because they haven't been asked to intervene.
No, but they're supposed to have standards. They're supposed to scrutinise. They're supposed to keep on top of things. And so are the Players' Union. You're quite right. They're supposed to be involved in that, the individual player union in each country. And it's a total breakdown of things, isn't it? Look, it looks like Barcelona is an extremely dysfunctional club. We shouldn't be surprised that a piece of business between two of the most dysfunctional clubs in Europe hasn't happened this summer, Manchester United and Barcelona. I mean, it would almost be a miracle if that transfer had taken place, the way those two clubs are run. So it's an absolute mess, and I think if this continues much longer, I think UEFA is going to have to consider getting involved in this and look at it, because it's really damaging to the credibility, I think, of European football.
And lastly, Simon, the politics involved, especially in Spain between Barcelona and Real Madrid, the hard-dealing Javier Tebas, La Liga boss, he can't be seen to give any leeway to Barcelona, because something will happen in the future and Real Madrid will say, oh, well, you allowed Barcelona this and you're not allowing us this, and then the thing will become a horse of another colour entirely. So he has to play by the book. So no quarter can be given to Barcelona in this situation, and that may cause them to start La Liga without these new recruits in their squad.
Yes, and Tebas and La Liga have over the years imposed sanctions and been strict with the smaller clubs in the Spanish league and the second division clubs and so on, who, if he is lenient with Barcelona, or flexible as Barcelona would probably put it, are going to turn around and go, well, you weren't like that with us. So there's the worry there of what the future would bring if he was seen to be lenient, but there's also what the reaction would be from people, many clubs who've fallen foul of regulations in Spain over the years, how they would react to seeing one of the big two in Spain treated with kid gloves.
Simon, top stuff as usual. Thank you very much for speaking with us. All the best.
All the best. Cheers.
Good, good, good. So you heard what the man said? Mm-hmm. And I was hoping he didn't go there. He said, how can you expect business between the two most dysfunctional clubs?
Well, he's spot on. He's
Manchester United! Yeah. Oh my God!
But you know what's usually disappointing about this story, though? Because of all the confederations in world football, Europe, UEFA, is the pinnacle. It's considered to be the
gold standard.
Yeah, the gold standard. So to see a story like this, you know...
Just a few days before.
Yeah, it's very, very... shocking.
I'd love to interview the Barca financial advisors and accountants. Yes. They're doing some things there.
Like they're working magic.
Yeah.
All right, we have to go to the break now.